Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Stargate TimeKeepers. This is Mission 4 of Season 1.
Saving the prisoners came at a cost. The survivors from SGC and Hactal escaped the Gua'uld battle, but their remaining ships were damaged. They set their course for the Lambda site, seeking a Stargate for safe travel and communication with Earth. With their spacecraft failing, the Allies were forced to land in an unfamiliar world in Moloc's domain. The team approaches the ruins of an ancient temple, hoping for rest and refuge from Moloc's forces.
Now, at this stage, you're given the option of which other team member, Max or Sam. Now, I'm going to go for Sam because of his clandestine abilities. Now, this is the good thing about this, is that the game could go two ways. You've got two different characters with very different styles. You've got the sniper and you've got the stealthy infiltrator. Infiltrator it is. I'm feeling that more than the sniper this time. Sniper next time. So we've got Colonel McCain, we've got Derreck, we've got Atar, and we've got Sam as our characters. Let's get cracking.
Currently on Stargate TimeKeepers.
We got the prisoners. We completed the mission.
Do you know how many people we lost? We barely got out of there alive.
Comms are limited. We're going to need a gate to report to SGC.
Our closest Stargate is at the Lambda site.
We're not going to make it, Colonel. The systems are failing. We need to land.
Not here. This world is Moloc's domain. His ships are near. We don't have a choice. Prepare to land!
Paul!
How are you doing?
Her leg is wounded. She cannot walk.
Maybe there's some...
Are you wounded?
I'm fine. Just cuts and bruises.
This is Derreck Harper. Can everyone hear me? This is Dr. Derreck Harper. Anyone, please come in.
Harper, this is McCain. I read you. Over.
Oh, thank God.
It's good to hear from you, man. Where are you?
Hard to say. We're in a forest near a ravine.
So are we. Can you see a large building? It's in ruins. Looks like an old temple.
I can see something like that. On the other side of the ravine.
The other side? Oh.
I'm glad to hear that they are alive.
Yeah, but they're in danger, as we all are.
What were Eva McCain's orders?
She said we should enter the building and check out the place. We could use it as a hideout.
I understand. It may also be our only way through the forest.
True. We don't know what we'll find there. So we should go in as a small team first. We can scout it out and see if it's safe for everyone.
Moloc's warriors are here. We must be careful.
Yeah, I hope it's safer in there than it is out here.
We must find out. Indeed.
Okay, so here we are on our first engagement. We've got split teams. So we're taking control of Derreck, Sam, and Atar. And we're going to try and make our way into the building. As we can see, the other teams on the other side of the ravine. You can't control them yet, though, however. That'll come a little bit later on in the mission. So,
I see.
lots of good scenery, lots of good map design. Each one of the Stargate TimeKeepers episodes run to about 50 minutes. About 50 minutes to an hour of gameplay. And when you consider there's 7 episodes in the first part of Season 1, with 7 coming a bit later on in the year, really good value for money for a game, in my opinion. Okay, so here we go.
Yes.
Let's move them out. Couple of bushes we can hide in. Everyone likes hiding in a bush. And this is in story mode, so I'm not limited by the limitations put on equipment, should we say. I want to enjoy this game as I go through it. Still quite the challenge, however. This mission I found easier than the other 4. This is mission 5 and is entitled A Hiding Place. Off the back of the last missions you heard in the little bit of story that we get, the recap, the serial recap that we get before every other mission. Stuff's gone down. Ships have been damaged. They had to get to a planet to crash land, then try and get out. That's the plan. Well, we've got a little bit of a temple here now we've got to infiltrate. Lots of Jaffa around. Mortox Jaffa. So, quite simplistic to get in this phase. This is more about timing. I'm glad I used Sam in this as opposed to Max. Simply because the infiltrator ability allows you to copy armoured Jaffa, Jaffa Warriors, all that sort of stuff, and then just walk past them. I found that ability to be absolutely key when playing this game. I'm not saying that, you know, the sniper, Max, is a bad choice. I just think I enjoyed this mission.
I'll try.
Okay, so we're moving our team up now. We've got all the foliage to go and hide in. We're going to get nice and close and we're going to see if we can take him out. So we've got Derreck. He's the man of the drones. We're going to set a drone up by there. When that guy comes walking, we're going to zap them both. We're calling it drone conservation. That's what I'm calling it anyway. Here he comes. Right. Zap. Thank you very much. Let's get people over there, get them tied up. And we can use that Mimitech device as a hologram. And then become the Jaffa.
I've got this. Can I help?
There you go. We're now a level 1 Jaffa. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. We can walk around. No one's going to play the finest bit of notice of us. And we can take out the people at the entrance. So, now we're disguised as a Jaffa. We can hide some of those bodies. No one's going to come down looking. And there's one quite close. It might be in the field of view. So, we'll do that. The Jaffa officer we've got is a higher grade than the ones that are at the gate. So, we can use Sam just to walk on past and do an awful lot of the knocking people out. The subduing of Jaffa. So there's 4 there, you think, yeah, quite heavily armed. Not for this bunch. We can hide the rest of our team in that bush. Down to the left-hand side. Walk in, take them out, and get into the main structure. Right, let's get him in. No one's going to play the blindest bit of notice of him.
This place is...
Here we go, that's our hiding place. We're going to go in there. We're going to stay just out of sight.
Antiquity. Was it a temple, maybe?
It looks very old. Perhaps it is still suitable for shelter.
Shelter.
And if needed, we can use shocks, we can use grenades. We can just walk in and just take them out now. The one over there by that console, he's going to be the first to go. Let's get going.
Just right.
So we've got the team chatter going on. They're all talking, well, you know, we need to have shelter for people. There's a new memory recall device, but I haven't actually used it yet.
That's easy.
Right, here we go.
All right.
There he is. Wait for him to go about his business. No one else is looking. Let's subdue him. He's subdued. We're going to tie him up. I think a nice well-placed drone or a grenade might work here. I think we're a little bit too far away for the drone.
Good idea.
So with everybody stunned, time to knock him out, tie him up, and if you want, stick him in a bush. Is anyone thinking that this game should be called Stargate? Stick him in a bush. The Stick him in a Bush Chronicles. Stargate. Stick him in a bush 1.
What's the plan?
Could be, couldn't it?
Nope.
And that guy there's working away, very meticulously. Doesn't care. Who cares?
I've got this.
I mean, you know, he's not armoured. You can just go over there, thump him on the back of the head, tie him up.
That's easy.
Done.
Good idea. Already on it. I'll try.
Moving into the main compound now, we can see we've got several Jaffa in our lines of sight. So we're going to have to use the tried and tested method of stealth, which is crouching. Even though we've got one Jaffa disguise on Sam, because the other Jaffa are the same level, they will detect him. If they're of a higher level,
Will do.
they'll detect him. But if you're a higher level than the Jaffa, then they will respect the authority and not question the disguise. Fair enough, really. Something to think about. And that's all done by the different officer rankings that are on the Jaffas. So, you can see there's one moving around. We're going to get Derreck's drones out, who are for Derreck's drones, and we're going to deploy one so that the guy who's looking directly down that corridor we've just come up is distracted. With that, and the Jaffa with a 3-second countdown,
For action.
he can move on his merry way. Great, fantastic. Now all we have to do is get ourselves over there. Pretty straightforward, really. When the Jaffa who's on patrol comes close, we can subdue him. We can knock him out with a staff attack because he's armoured. It'll have to be a double stack or a charge staff attack, because unless you use Eva McCain's binoculars, and she's not here, they're not susceptible to physical attacks. Now, lethal attacks, they are, if they're armoured, but using 2 attacks. Anyway, he's subdued, and you guessed it, he's in the bush. Right, he's not going to see anything, he's not going to see anything. That's the problem we've got there. It's that fella.
Me?
So what we're going to have to do is distract him somehow so we can get past. For that, we're going to need a very distracting Derreck. So here he comes. Distractor drone. We'll have to move him a little bit closer so we can do the distraction. That pillar is outside of line of sight, so we can move him over. That will increase the radius of where we can do the distraction. There's the drone. He's distracted. He's looking the other way. We can move Sam, disguised as a Jaffa, right there. Now, over to the right, you guessed it, there's another Jaffa. Jaffa everywhere on this level, but there's some nice bushes we can go and hide in. We can use the pillars as cover. We can move behind all the unsuspecting guards.
Yes.
Hide in that bush, and then take that guy out. That's the plan. So we can see he's on a 6-second countdown. We're all crouched, being super secret stealthy.
Already
If
on
somebody moves and turns away, we can make a dash for that bush. Now, you might get there, you might not. All depends what he's doing.
I'm on my way.
Stay in the grey zone. The chevron zone. Let's move into the bush.
I'll try.
Right, and we're here. Right, good stuff. Because we're hidden, he can't see us. So what we're going to do now, another tried and tested method. We're just going to take this guy out when he moves around. Now, you could charge up there and do a double staff attack. We're using the shock drone, because why not? We're then going to get Atar over there to tie him up. And if required, you guessed it, dump him in a bush. So that leaves that entire area now free and open. No one's going to see him.
Good
but
idea.
he is a higher level, a rank higher than the Jaffa disguise that we have. So before we do stick him in a bush, now he's subdued, we can use the Mimetech device that Sam has to increase the hologram disguise he's got, so that he can walk past lesser ranked Jaffa, without being noticed. Then we can go and jump in a bush. So he's got a nice gold helmet. Who doesn't like a gold helmet, I tell you? Right, so we've got some vines just on that one ledge. That tells me that we can move a tower up there, because she can traverse some parts of the terrain. So we're going to pop her up there. And there's another vine going down to the next level. Loads of Jaffa. It's a Jaffa party. Little Jaffa tea party going on down there. And most of the angles are covered. So we're going to have to do something super secret and super stealthy. We'll move Sam and Derreck up. And we'll use some distractions. The holographic distraction first off, to get one of the guards that is roaming. So this hologram, you throw it and then you click on the icon to activate it when a Jaffa that you want to distract comes near. So here's a Jaffa, he's on a countdown, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, here he comes. Right, this guy we're going to distract with hologram. Right, here he starts looking. There's the hologram, he goes, oh, what's that? Over he comes. We're an officer. He goes, hello, officer. Not at all suspicious that you're crouched down.
That's easy.
He's tied up, he's subdued, and he's out of line of sight. Now, it's not all about knocking people out in this game. We've said this in previous missions. The Jaffa officer is the same rank of us. If he sees us, that's the end of us. But the lesser Jaffa that are facing downwards, towards the right, they'll just see an officer. We're going to move Derreck up behind that pillar.
Will do.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to move Sam, who's disguised as our officer Jaffa,
I'm on my way.
behind the Jaffa officers, so they won't see them. No one's turning around. There he is. He's moved. He's right there. Now we've seen the cone of the Jaffa officer. We can see where people are looking. We've got to start to try and take people out. So, the one that's moving from left to right on the screen, that's lower armoured Jaffa. We're going to distract him by talking to him in the Jaffa tongue. Click on the speech bubble, and he'll stay there, and he'll break his patrol route. This is going to give us a little bit of time to move people up to the top left-hand side of the screen. And when I say people, we mean Derreck and Atar. All about subterfuge. Sometimes you have to go loud, and you've got to open up in this game. Other times, just see if you can walk on past. Even if you stun Jaffa, you don't necessarily have to subdue them.
Got it.
They can be stunned, they can look around, they can be all puzzled, and then before you know it, you're past them, and away you go. As soon as you're past them, there's no threat to you. They've got their patrol routes, and that's all their routes. So we're going to move Derreck back up to that pillar. He's crouched. The Jaffar's not walking back and forth. Yes. We can see we can get to that pillar. No problem. Just by staying out of the cone of vision. Try and maximise the amount of time we're actually in sight. There's no point us going over there to distract him. Could have put a distraction drone over there, triggered that, he would have looked away, we could have walked over, that would have been easy. But typically, all we have to do, distract that Jaffa guard, over it goes. He'll look at that, and we'll walk past. Here we go, distraction. They look the other way, we're off-ski. There you go, and we're hidden in plain sight. That's what we're doing. We're right there, look. No one's playing the blind bit of notice. These guys, very tunnel vision. They're not going to see us. so far so good. So what are we going to do here? Well, really we have to move Atar up as well, and then we can move Sam to aid us a little bit. So there's Atar.
Can I help?
We can move her right next to Derreck, and she won't be detected. We can set off some drones as well. Distraction drones. And even knock him out if you wanted to. Right, so we're going to knock those two out, and we're going to hopefully sneak on past. It's going to be a bit of a stretch, this. It did take me 2 attempts to do it. So we've got 2 drones. One we're going to do electric shock on those 2, and one we're going to distract. So, brilliant. Let's move Atar up. Right there. Right, no one's seen us. Brilliant. We're going to trigger the drones. Then we're going to walk straight past in all the confusion. Right.
I'm on my way.
Distraction. That goes off. They're charged. We're just going to run past.
Yes.
Not going to bother subduing them. We're just going to get out of the way, and we're going to hide round several pillars. The guy has come around. He's gone, oh, what's going on here? Oh, he's fallen over. What's wrong with Dave? Dave gets up and goes, whoa, I've got a bit of a bad head. Here comes Tony. What's wrong with Dave? Nothing. Everything's okay. And they go back to normal. So we've got 2 team members now at
That's easy.
the objective point. We can now leave what we're doing, walk round that bush, staying out of the sight cone of the other Jaffa, walk past the other Jaffa Warriors, move on to the next section
Colonel
of the game.
McCain, this is Harper. We need some assistance.
Harper, this is McCain. What do you need?
We've hit a snag. There's an interior door we can't open. There's an engraving that seems to show an operating mechanism, but we can't see anything like it. I think it's on the other side. Maybe you can help us, ma'am?
Are you asking me to enter the building?
Yes, if that's possible, ma'am.
I saw a potential point of entry. I can try to get in.
Thank you, Colonel.
The surrounding area is under patrol, so it might take some time. I'll let you know when I'm inside.
Understood, ma'am. We'll hold tight. What am I looking for? The image shows cogwheels for sure, and also straight lines. Maybe handles or levers?
Alright, I'll see what I can find. I'm listening. We'll go.
So, as per the narrative, we've now got Colonel Eva McCain to get an ancient piece of cog, or turn an ancient piece of cog to open a door. Now, we've got the P60, we've got the bullet casings, which I don't have much success with, to be honest with you, and we've got the stun grenade, and we've got the Kull Blaster, and we've got fists, and of course, for armoured Jaffa, we've also got binoculars. Now, a couple of things we can do. You could try and distract the Jaffa. Doesn't always work for me. You could open up with the gun, but that would alert the 2 Jaffa just up by the clock, which is really annoying. Or we've got a flashbang, which will stun the Jaffa enough so we can then give him a belt and then job done. Or typically, what we could do is use the binoculars on the Jaffa, find their weaknesses, and then just go up and punch them. Nice and super stealthy like. So we've worked out that we can hide in that bush, fire a grenade off, still maintain out of sight, and knock out that Jaffa. So there we go. Grenade. Zap. Brilliant. He's knocked out. We're going to tie him up. We're just out of sight lines of that Jaffa. Good for us. Now getting over there is going to be a bit of a trial. No point shooting. We're out of range. No point distracting. Nobody else is coming. No one else can see us. It's just those two Jaffa at that little encampment. That'll typically knock them both out. Just, I think. Perhaps it won't. I don't know. No, there's one guy who isn't knocked out, so we're going to have to use and go loud there. Sometimes it's a good place to go and use that P60. He's dead, only one to tie up. Right, brilliant. No one else is coming around here. Let's get on to the next section of the game.
Affirmative.
Let's go round the back way. Now this Jaffa's got a very sort of like restricted line of sight. We've got bushes.
Let's move.
If we crouch down, we'll be able to get through there and then subdue them.
Right on it.
Again, you could use the binoculars to look at the Jaffa and then take them out.
We'll go.
Or we could just walk on past them. You don't necessarily have to do anything for them. See, you can just walk past. They're none the wiser. There's the binocular method. Armoured Jaffa. We know their weaknesses. Now that he's susceptible, I should say, to physical attacks. Give him a belt. Boom. He's down. Tie him up. If you want, stick him in a bush. Moving on.
Roger.
2 Jaffa there. 3 Jaffa. That's prime for a flashbang, that is. We're going to sneak around, get in that bush. We can see a drone at the top. That could be a bit of a pain. Right. Bit of a conversation going on between the Jaffa. Could distract them. Don't know what that's really going to do. Not a fan of that bullet casing. Flashbang. That'll do it. Zit. Right. Okay. Everyone's stunned. They're reeling. We're just going to tie them up. Remaining crouched. We can see where the drone is. And this, I'm just going to have to cheese a bit. I really thought long and hard on how I'm going to do this section with the drone, because the drone can see in the bushes. Right, there's no hiding from the drone. Once you're in its line of sight, that's it, it's got you. There's also a Jaffa over there. You can't blind them, you can't stun the drones. But you can stun the Jaffa. And one's just looking over that chasm.
We'll go.
Or the ravine, as they call it. So if we move over, you can judge what's happening with that drone.
Affirmative.
Stun the Jaffa. Make a run for it. I mean, I could have waited till that drone was out of the way.
Right on
Right,
it.
quickly zip tie him over the log and we're through. And we lost 1 unit of health.
Roger.
Okay, so that drone's having a bit of a head fit. The Jaffar's going to wake up. We're out of his line of sight. He's not going to move. And we're up the steps. Two Jaffa here in close proximity.
Let's move.
Flashbang. Pow. Right, they're disabled.
Got it.
Quickly tie him up. Jaffa just round the corner. We're staying crouched. He's not going to venture any further, and there's one on top of those stairs. And there's the cog that I have to turn
Right on it.
to open the door. We're just going to get out the way of that Jaffa. We're going to pop on up there. Take him out.
We'll go.
Tie him up. And now, nice and easy,
Roger.
we're going to open the door. So to open the door and to release the mechanism, allowing the team on the other side of the door to get through, just go up there, press the shift to move something or to interact, and that'll open the doorway. Colonel Eva's at the top, can't do anything with her. But there is a place up here you can do to get additional Jaffa. Now, one of these pillars is loose. You can interact with that pillar, and that will fall down, and it will crush 3 Jaffa if you time it just right. So we're going to do that. Help people out a little bit, isn't it? There you go.
Let's move.
Shift and left mouse button uses the opportunity. She gives it a good belt. Off goes the pillar. Crushes 3 Jaffa. 1 Jaffa comes over to have a nose and goes, "Oh, pillar fell on Dave and Tony. How unfortunate."
Yes.
Right, we can move our people up
Thank you.
just by that
How's it
small
looking in here?
dwarf wall.
Kull Warriors are inside. Quite a lot.
And we're going to attempt to hijack that drone.
Around the ships outside.
But for that, we got to get Derreck quite close. And we've got to get quite close with the other side of the pillar to the left-hand side. So wait for the drone to come through. We're nowhere near close enough.
I'll try.
We'll move him out of the Jaffa's line of sight. Crouch down, of course,
Yes.
being super stealthy. Using the terrain and down behind that pillar. All we have to do now is wait for the drone to come back. Here comes the drone. We've got the hacking ready. He's crossed our path. We've hacked the drone. Now, that drone is ours. We can use him to go and take out other Jaffa. So we'll even take out this Jaffa, who's armoured. Let the countdown go. Thank you very much. That'll take him out. He'll be brown bread.
Ready for action.
Boom. There you go. Good stuff.
Already on.
So we're using the environment, we're using drones, we're going to use our officer Jaffa to move up, take out the other Jaffa who are
Piece of cake.
investigating, give them a zat, tie him
Alright.
up, then we can go over there and do things the old-fashioned way and subdue the Jaffa warrior.
I do.
There you go, done. Now we can move everybody up because that other Jaffa civilian is doing whatever that Jaffa civilian is doing in that bush. And there's a cog we can do. Now, if you open that cog, it drops the door you can see. And behind
Already
that
on
door is a crate where you can restock your supplies. Now, I'm playing this in story mode. I have unlimited supplies. Some say it's cheating. I say I'm enjoying the game how I want to play it. It's still a challenge, and it's still taking me an absolute age to get things right. So I'm enjoying the challenge here. And then we can get everybody then to the next waypoint.
Maybe something else?
Now, Colonel Eva is there. We can't do anything for her. We can't really help her out. We're going to see if we can use a healing drone on her to give her another pip of health. There you go. We're just close enough. That might work. There you go. Activate the healing. Colonel Eva has all the health she can possibly have. Still not a well woman, though. Injured in the crash. Right, we'll move our team down to that section of the wall.
I think we need your assistance again, ma'am.
This is McCain. Go ahead, Harper.
We're at another door. It looks like it can be opened with a device on the door, but we don't know how to operate it. There's an image here. It looks like 4 pillars, possibly around maybe an altar or stela. This might be a real place that's connected with the door somehow. Have you seen anything like that?
I haven't, but I'll,
Colonel, are you there?
I'm here. I haven't seen it, but I'll look around.
Is everything okay, ma'am?
I'm fine. Just a bit scratched up.
It sounds like you need medical attention, ma'am.
I said I'm fine, Harper.
Now Colonel Eva can't just sit back and have a cup of tea. She's tasked with going out and releasing the door controls that are linked to another room. A couple of Jaffa to take out on the way, no doubt. A couple of armoured Jaffa as well. So we're going to be as super sneaky as we can.
Let's move.
Nowhere to really hide. We have to wait till he comes around and then try and subdue him any way we can.
Roger.
Here he comes. We're just waiting so we can get him in range. Off goes the grenade.
We'll go.
Let's tie him up. Great. And move on with our lives.
Affirmative.
Another Jaffa will come down about halfway down that next corridor.
We got 4 handles with arrowheads. Kind of like compass points. Each
There's
one
one we
has a
can
number
subdue
of
the
dots on it.
old-fashioned way.
I guess you're looking for something like that?
Loving the certainty, Doctor. Right on it.
Right, moving on. There's no real way we can do to get past him, because he kind of is where he is. Lots of many overlapping lines of sight in this next room. And there's no way of doing this really without going loud and using the full repertoire. So we're at least going to take out the one that's patrolling. Right, here he comes.
Roger.
Bit of a zapping. Tie him up. Move on to our next victim. Is a strange level. And what I mean by a strange level, I couldn't really see a way round it without going really loud. Over in that entryway, the first entryway down to where that sundial effect is, you've got overlapping lines of sight. Yeah, you can sneak behind them. You've got a roving Jaffa and Jaffa positioned all around the bases. I thought my best bet was to sneak past that lot,
We'll go.
super sneaky like, and take out the Jaffa in the top left hand corner. What could possibly go wrong? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to sneak past, head over the other side and take them out. The Jaffa aren't watching. Nice and easy.
I'm listening.
Now, as some are saying, you don't have to take out everybody. You can just sneak in, do what you've got to do. I prefer there to be no option other than just to take them out, and that way then no one's going to turn around and give you beef a little bit later on in the game.
Affirmative. Let's move.
There you go. Going to subdue them.
Right on it.
Do a bit of super sneaky. Now these 4 pillars are what control the door where the other team is stuck behind, and you've got to do them in a particular sequence. Now there's an armoured Jaffa there, a Jaffa on patrol, and some other Jaffa down there as well who are trolling or just sat around looking at things.
Roger.
All these have got to be taken into consideration. Now I've got to admit, even though I completed this part of it, I did mess it up. It could have gone better, to be perfectly honest with you. So hats off, things really could have gone better here. They really could have. And that's not to say I'm not doing it right, but it could have gone better. So we're starting off with a stun grenade, tying people up. I'm going to get spotted, no doubt. Once I've got spotted, somebody else is going to come up the stairs. I'm going to have to deal with them. If you're not playing in story mode and you want that more stealthy experience, then you're more than likely not going to have unlimited supplies, even though there is a supply chest over where those first 2 guards are. There you go. That Jaffa has spotted me. I've got to go over there now and take him out, although I'm in the line of sight of the other Jaffa across the other side of the room. This is a problem, and the stun is going to run out at this stage. I got to get over there, tie him up quick.
Affirmative.
You are. He's gone loud. I'm being shot at. The Jaffa are alerted. This is what I mean. It could have gone better. I'm going to use the P90. Take out this Jaffa. As soon as he comes round the corner. Nope, he's gone away. I've got 2 blocks of health left. Here he comes. We'll have him. Right, he's brown bread. And then as the other guy is walking around, not knowing really where he is, I'm going to be able to go around and take him out.
Got it.
So once we subdue that Jaffa, we've then got to do the pillars in a certain order to enable us to unlock the door. Now there's a typical order for this. I did it by trial and error. I don't know of any other way of doing it. Although once you get the first one, the team does start telling you and giving you different instructions. So let's go through the correct order of the pillars so we can open the door in Stargate TimeKeepers in plain sight. Now, from this orientation, this is what you do. Number 1, to the west. Then we go to the bottom, which is number 2. And then number 3 is the one to the east. And then the last one is number 4 at the top. Those are the ones that I did, and I was able then to open the door. And I did that via trial and error. Then you get the little message. There's a little cut sequence. And they say, oh, the door's open. And it lets them through. And then you can move on with the mission.
Harper, 3, northeast. Right on it.
Harper, 4, south. It worked, Colonel. The door opened. Glad I could help.
Let's move.
Ready.
The door is open, and now it's down to the other team to go in and access that console right in the middle of the screen. Again, this is all stealth.
The door opened.
Not an awful lot of combat to be done here. It's all stealth.
Already on it.
So there's a Goa'uld drone on this one side, which is a bit of a problem, and a Jaffa looking directly at another Jaffa,
Yes.
making it a bit of a problem. We're going to have to use Derreck here and his drones, and Sam, who is disguised as a Jaffa. Now, there's another high-ranking Jaffa officer at the bottom as well, who's going to spot Sam if he stands up. So we're going to use a drone to distract the
All
Jaffa in the center causeway.
Of course.
And we're going to take the other Jaffa out. Just in case. So there he is. There's Derreck. We're going to get a distraction drone there. We're going to wait till the Jaffa at the bottom has moved away. And then once he has, we're going to trigger the distractions drone. And then we're going to take the other guy out. Right, he's distracted. We're giving him a thump. We're going to subdue him. Back into crouching mode. And we can all get on our merry way. There's no point hacking the drone there at that stage. We've got to do that a little bit later on when we can use it to the maximum advantage. So what you got to do is you got to watch the Jaffa in the center section. Now, this center section is key because they will spot you.
A fine idea.
Atal will also mention the center console
Look, over there.
as you get to this
Is
stage.
that the machine?
Oh yeah, a terminal maybe. If this place has a control system, we might be able to operate it.
Let us go to it. Indeed.
Right, so let's go to it. Yes, we've got to go to it. Unfortunately, it's all this Jaffa around here. So what we're going to have to do here as well, we've got to watch the Jaffa on the other side as well. There's two you've got to look at. There's a Jaffa officer and there's a normal Jaffa. There you can see the countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've got to look at him because he is going to be walking around as well. 2 phases. Use your Jaffa pretender, Sam, to walk over. And you've got to use a drone. Now the drone is going to take out the armored Jaffa. We've seen this before. And to get him close enough, we've got to engage him in conversation. So there's the view lines. So we're going to move Sam over because he's a Jaffa, or pretending to be a Jaffa.
Already on it.
Move him over. There you go. We'll start a conversation. He'll turn to look at Sam. We'll then move Derreck up with his stun drone and put the drone in place and then move him back. We're then going to move Sam out of the way so he's not spotted by any of the other Jaffa. Don't want to go raising suspicions. Right, once everybody's out the way and they've gone through the next cycle of being on guard, 3 seconds to wait. The officer's moving, the other guy's moving, we can stun him, we can subdue him, and then we can walk on our merry way, knocking people out.
That's easy.
And hiding. Now, the guy at the top, he could have grassed us out. We've knocked him out, we've subdued him. Here comes the drone, we've got to get out of the way, so we're going to hide.
That's easy.
It's not going to raise the alarm. 30 seconds to wait there. But with everybody crouched, we can move down that entire gangway once the drone is out of the way. None of the Jaffa in the center are going to see us, which is good stuff.
I'm here. All right.
Right, so moving on. We're going to hack this drone. So we're going to get our team all the way down to what you can see at the top of the screen. There's a couple of pillars that's going to afford us a bit of cover back to the entrance point, to that central island. Everyone's going to be crouched down, super stealthy, and we're going to get that drone and then operate it and move it to a place that's more beneficial for us. So we're also going to have to rotate the map at this stage as well. So there's Derreck. He's all ready to take control of the drone. There's Sam. We're going to move him in there as well in just a minute. It's best if we get the drone first. So with Derreck, and we're going to rotate the map now, we're going to hack this drone. So it's going to be coming its way back. As soon as it comes into our area, we're going to activate the hack and it'll be completely under our control. Or at least that's the plan. Here comes the drone. Right, so here we are, we're rotated. Selecting the hack icon, which is 3. See our range. It's going to come into our range very shortly, so we're going to put the hack directly on it. Boom. Right, but we're not going to activate the hack. That's the key thing here. We're going to try and use that drone exploding to take out at least one of those guards, if not both of them. Right, brilliant. As the drone comes back under its own power, that'll afford us more time to position the drone where we want it to be. Right, here he comes. Jaffar's out the way. The drone's moving back. As he comes by the entrance point, we can zoom it straight up that entrance point and take out that Jaffa that's looking directly down at us. And if we're lucky, we might take another one out, but I think we might have mistimed that. Anyway, he's done. Nothing we can't handle now, because he's not just knocked out, he is decapitated. Right, we're going to move Sam down, and then en masse we're going to take out those two Jaffa. The Jaffa officer and the one who just seems to be looking at a wall all the time. We'll do this with a nicely planted grenade.
I'll try.
And a couple of disabling blows. 18 seconds to wait before he moves back on his chosen route. The other Jaffar's not going to move, and then we've got to zip over there now and just knock him out. The other Jaffa won't move from the other side. We'll be okay where we are. Here he comes. Right, there's the grenade out. All disabled. I did something very stupid there. I'm thinking that I'm going to be able to knock him out with a normal punch. But he's armoured, so I can't. So what I'm going to have to do is use a tar and a charged staff attack, which is number 2.
I shall.
Spin him around. That's knocked him out. Now we can subdue him. And what we can do is we can move the rest of the team up and distract a Jaffa with a little bit of light conversation.
Hello.
And then access the terminal. Right, moving up.
Will do.
We'll just walk Sam down there as a Jaffa officer. No one will suspect a thing. We'll start a conversation, drawing the guy's attention away from that console. We'll access the console, and away we go. That looks like a gold sarcophagus in the middle, but it might not be.
That's easy.
I don't know. So there we go. We're just going to walk past, right up to him. We'll rotate the map so we can have a good look, and we'll engage him in some chit-chat. Lots of Jaffa Cree going on. Right, so he's not going to do anything. Here's our team. Everybody else is subdued who needs to be subdued. We can move Derreck down and get him to hack the console. Number 6 is the key for the hack.
Of course.
And we get a cut sequence. And that's effectively in plain sight. Mission 5.
Let's secure the building and get everyone inside. All units, we're under attack. Everyone, get in the building. Hey, go inside. I'll cover you.
Surrender now.
side. Harper, prepare to close the entrance. No! Colonel McCain! She might need our help! Harper, there's no time. They're at the gate. Close it, now!
I'm sorry.